Hey guys, welcome to Summer in Space City. I'm Hawk. We're going to be going over a lot of just sports and stuff going on around the world and in Houston, giving the college student just like a heads up of what's going on. My background's in football. I'm excited to pass it off to y'all. Jose.
My name's Jose. As Hawk mentioned, my background's in soccer, and then I dabble in some college basketball.
My name is
My name's Reese. My name's Reese. I also dabble a little bit in football. Work for the U.S. football team, and yeah, excited to talk today.
my name is Luis, soccer and football fan.
My name's Kellen. My background is in mainly basketball and also some baseball, and I'll be one of your moderators for today.
Hey, my name's Caleb. My background's in college basketball and pro baseball, and I'm excited to chat with y'all.
More importantly, we are all college students making this show for the college student. Um, we hope you enjoy. We got a few fun topics. We're going to be talking about the football spring game here at UH, March Madness, club soccer World Cup, and the upcoming baseball season. Enjoy.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're super excited here on the University of Houston campus, especially about year two under Willie Fritz with our football program. We got the spring game coming up in a couple weeks, and so I wanted to ask. We have three student managers for the football team with us today. So Hawk, Reese, and Luis. We'll start with offense. So Hawk and Reese, how's the offense looking for the spring game?
Definitely excited. We brought in some pretty big recruits, a lot along the offensive line. Matthew Wyckoff. We got McKenzie. We got all across the board. We're looking to improve. We brought in Connor Weigman, former five-star quarterback. How the running backs looking, Reese?
Honestly, the running backs look great. The room looks the same with the addition of Dean Connors, but everybody looks bigger, stronger, faster. You have Steve Polk coming back from an Achilles. Ray Sean looks much more lean. Stacy looks faster. So overall, the running back room looks like it's going to be great this year.
Yeah,
Uh,
so I know offense was a big issue last year. I know our defense was really good, but how do you think the offense is going to improve this year?
I definitely think we'll be throwing the ball a lot more. We'll have a much more improved passing game. In addition to just bigger bodies on that, front seven line, just being able to move defensive linemen out of the way, really get us uh, some yards just on the ground. I think, just
And he mentioned oh my bad. He mentioned throwing the ball, and I think Stephon Johnson has really embraced that number one receiver role. And do not sleep on Harvey Broussard. He's been looking very, very good in practices so far.
I haven't had the chance to meet Broussard yet. Is he's good? He's good.
He looks good. He's number three. And I don't know the other guy's first name. I know his last name is Thomas. He's number zero. They both look very, very athletic. Honestly, they've forced some of our DBs at times, some of our best DBs at times. So definitely have like a speed factor that's been missing in the receiver room in the past. Maybe but the receivers have looked really good so far. I'd say.
Yeah, it's awesome. Now I want to shift to defense too. That was a huge strength of our team last year. So I know Luis, you know a lot about the defense. How's that looking spring? Is it still looking as good as it was last year?
It should look the same as last year. Most of the coaches are still here. We only changed coordinator. Coach Armstrong comes from Florida, but the scheme should be the same as last year. And we have a lot of returning players. But we also have some freshmen like Carmelo Brooks, who's looking good in practice. And yeah, we hope the defense is still great.
I know we're bringing back AJ Halsey and Jeremiah Wilson. That's huge. That's huge for the defense, right?
Yeah, those two are NFL caliber players, and that's great news for UH to have him back.
I do not disagree. I just hope your defensive line takes it easy on my offensive line in practice. Can we make that deal?
I don't know. I don't know. they're looking healthy, they're looking good, and they're ready to hunt some quarterbacks. So yeah.
Hey man, as long as they're not touching Connor, we're good, right?
Yeah, I mean Connor's gonna be fine, but opposing quarterbacks are not gonna be fine.
That's good to hear. Well, I'd say I'm excited for year 2 under Willie Fritz. How about y'all excited?
I'm super excited. It's gonna be a great year.
Yeah, me too.
I think we'll definitely do better than last season.
That's awesome. Great to hear. Can't wait.
Hey guys, I got Caleb back with me, and Reese. We're gonna talk about some March Madness, some of the stuff that's been going on. First round just finished up. We're looking at the rest of the tournament. You know, Caleb, any surprises that came from that first round?
So yeah, we've just gotten through the round of 64 at this point. Pretty up the chalk for the most part. But McNeese looked pretty good. Had a nice win over Clemson. Clemson could not score. Really controlled the pace of that game. Another team who looked good was a pretty common upset pick, but still an upset. Drake looked really good, especially defensively, slowing down that Missouri team. Then there were a few 2 seeds that actually held on. There was Robert Morris, who held on with Alabama, Omaha for a little bit, hold on with St. John's, and even a 1 seed, Alabama State held on to Auburn for a bit. But other than really those 2, and then Arkansas over Kansas, which is a minor upset, if anything, it's been very up the chalk for the most part.
Yeah, my bracket was busted by Baylor and McNeese. I don't know about you two. Reese, anything you noticed so
My
far?
bracket was busted after the first game, the Louisville
Really?
game. After the Louisville game, my bracket was busted. I 5 seed Memphis did lose. I don't know if that was necessarily an upset, but it was a 12 over a 5 seed, so it's an upset. Who else? New Mexico, 10 beat a 7 seed. It wasn't a popular upset, I would say, but personally, I took it in my bracket, so it paid off. Um, yeah, it's been kind of straightforward, like you said. 1 seeds have looked good. A couple 2 seeds struggled a little bit, but a lot of top teams have looked pretty good so far.
I made a controversial pick. I have UConn going to the big game and losing to Houston, of course. Who do y'all got losing to Houston in the national championship this year?
I believe I took Auburn. I took the Auburn U of H rematch in the championship. U of H gets over the big SEC boys in the championship.
Caleb, what about you?
I put Tech at the time. I really like all the offensive shooters that Tech has, and even though they had a little bit of a Wilmington in that first game, I still think, offensively they are sound and they can beat anybody until they play Houston. So.
Of course, that's a great point. There's nothing I would love more than for Texas Tech to have all that optimism getting to the big game, just to lose to us. You know, but that should wrap us up. Thanks guys for joining me. Go Cougs.
Go Coogs.
Okay, so now the next segment we got something I didn't really know much about, but I know there's the National World Cup next year, but this year is actually the Club World Cup, and so we have a couple soccer experts with us. So I wanted to hand it over to Luis and Jose for this Club World Cup coming up this year. What are some things to look out for? What are teams that y'all are excited to see? What should the average fan know about the Club World Cup?
Well, first of all, we have some of the biggest clubs in the world coming to the US for the first time in years or ever, like Real Madrid, Manchester City. We have European champions, we have Asian champions, African champions. This is going to be great. It's the first time ever this tournament has ever been played at this magnitude. We usually only had it like 8 teams per tournament. Now we have like 32. It's a big tournament, and US fans should be excited that it's hosted here.
Yeah, as Luis mentioned, it's the first year that's professionally happening between clubs. It's taking place this summer between early June to early July. He mentioned Manchester City and Real Madrid, which are some of the teams I've taken some notes on. Manchester qualified because they won the UEFA Champions League. They won that. And the recent form, they're in the last 40 matches, they've won 30 of them across all competitions, not just including the Champions League and things like that. Their key player will be Erling Haaland. He has 52 goals in competition all season long, and they've only conceded 5 goals in their Champions League campaign, some of the best in the world, really. Real Madrid, secondly, they were also UEFA Champions League runner-up. Their club history, they're the most successful club when it comes to competition against other clubs. Every year that they've made it to this competition, they've won, including 2014, 2016, 2017, 18, and 2022. Their key player would be Jude Bellingham, who has more than 20 goals on the season, along with 8 assists across all competitions. They've only conceded 8 goals in the Champions League group stage. Another team that I kind of have notes on that I feel like is important is Club Leon out of the CONCACAF, based out of Mexico. They qualified by winning the CONCACAF. They have 8 wins in the last 10 matches, and their key player would be Victor Davila, who has 6 goals in the Champions League campaign. I feel like these are just some of the big teams that will kind of have an influence on the tournament this summer.
Yeah,
I'm glad you mentioned Club Leon, because actually we have some news coming out of North America. A Costa Rican club, Alajuelense, is filing a complaint to FIFA that Club Leon and Pachuca are owned by the same people, which is not allowed supposedly with FIFA. Club Leon and Pachuca are backing up that they're owned by different people, but they're bringing that to FIFA, and let's see how that solves out. We won't hear back until a couple weeks, but that's interesting about the topic.
Yeah, so we still got a little time left. So I want to ask y'all, like, who's your pick? If you were to pick one team to win the Club World Cup, what would be the team for y'all?
You go ahead first.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, based on recent performances, I would say Real Madrid. But I mean, you can never count out Manchester City or Bayern Munich. They're both teams. They're both great teams.
Like Luis mentioned, I mean, Real Madrid has the most success. If I had to personally pick right now, it'd probably be Manchester City, just because of the form that Haaland has had this season. It's kind of historic, so I just kind of feel they have the momentum to carry on into the tournament.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys. I'm certainly excited for that. We'll see how that plays out. It's exciting that it's here in America. Can't wait to watch that.
Hey guys, now we're going to talk a little bit about baseball, the MLB. Opening day is here next week, so got 2 guys here with me, Kellen and Caleb. We're going to talk baseball. Caleb, what's going on in the AL, man?
So the AL should be pretty deep, as it always is. The best divisions probably, I mean, it's going to be either the East or the Central. Let's start with the East. The East should be probably the 2 competing teams at the top of the East will be between the Orioles and the Yankees. Orioles just young, explosive, lost their ace, but should still have good pitching. And then the Yankees, Garrett Cole's out for the year, but they should still be a prevalent threat with Aaron Judge there in the middle of the lineup. Red Sox made some moves. Jay shouldn't be all that scary because the moves, and the Rays are just always there. They're always at least competent because they're just so well managed. Central should also be really good. Maybe the best it's been in years. Tigers look really good, really scary, great pitching, great pen. Twins should be consistently there along with the Guardians. I really just like the Guardians in general. I think there could be a sneaky team. Royals, of course. The Royals are one of the best teams last year. Young, explosive. I mean, Central is so deep. And then you have the White Sox, which the less said about them, the better. And then the West should be the weakest of the 3 AL divisions, but still has some competent teams. Mariners didn't do a whole lot. But should still be okay. Should still have some of the best pitching in baseball. A's and Angels won't be that great. A's may have a good offense. And should be between the Rangers, in my opinion, and the Astros for the winner of that division. Both teams who have a lot of promise going in.
What about the Astros, man? This is Houston. We got to talk about the Astros.
Of course. Astros made some moves, lost some players, lost Kyle Tucker. Verlander went to the Giants. And I mean, Bregman went to the Red Sox. So you lost some players, but then you got Christian Walker from the Diamondbacks. You got Paredes, Isaac Paredes from the I think it was from the Cubs after the trade deadline last year. Made some moves, brought some guys up. That Cam kid that we got in that Kyle Tucker trade, he looks good. He looks really good. So we won't be as elite as we've been in past years, but we have a great 1-2 in Framer Valdez and Hunter Brown. I got some starting pitchers coming in. Penn should be better than it was last year, as long as Hader doesn't somewhat underperform.
Well,
and the offense, question mark at the bottom, but it's really elite up top.
Oh, what about the NL? Kellen, how are we looking over there?
Yeah, so I think pretty similarly, there's a lot of great teams in the NL. I think if you look at the NL East, that's going to be a wide open division. So many really good teams there. The Mets went out and got Juan Soto, looking to improve on their great season last year. And then the Braves are getting healthy. Spencer Strider coming back from injury. Phillies, this kind of feels like a last dance for them. They got this great core of hitters, but a lot of them are going to hit free agency next year or getting older, maybe not quite living up to their contracts. So if they're going to get a title with this core, this is probably the year to do it. Then you look at that Central division. The Brewers are always there. I think they got worse this offseason, but they always seem to overperform their roster. Cubs, like Caleb mentioned, they got Kyle Tucker. Definitely improved a lot. And then you got the West. I think the West, like D-backs are there. You got the Padres still have a pretty solid roster, but it comes down to the Dodgers. It's really just the Dodgers in the NL. They were so much better than every other team last year. Shohei Ohtani put up a great year. That pitching staff, even with all the injuries, still kind of waltzed their way to a World Series title. Then they see it this offseason. They went out and got Roki Sasaki, the best international free agent we've had in probably since Shohei. And then also got Blake Snell, shored up that bullpen with Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates. That lineup still looking strong with Shohei, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. I don't see anyone beating the Dodgers, to be honest, in the NL.
So, I mean, Dodgers in the NL, you talked to us about some good teams over in the AL. Who's going deep this year?
So as he said, I can't pick against anyone but the Dodgers. I really like what the Cubs did. I think the Cubs could be interesting. Phillies last dance, I still think they're elite in that tier, but you can't pick against the Dodgers with how much they've done, with how many players they've paid. No, you just can't. And then in the AL, that's where it gets a little bit more interesting. I think the Yankees lost enough where I don't think they'll go back. I really like this to be the year that Baltimore puts it all together. I really do. I like a lot of what they're doing. I love a lot of their offense, especially. So my money probably on the Orioles at this point, but you can make an argument for like the Royals could just put it all together as well, or the Yankees could just go back.
All right. Thank you, guys. Hey guys, that's it for summer in Space City. We got a lot of sports ahead of us. Baseball opening day. You got March Madness going on right now. Football spring games around the nation. We appreciate y'all joining us. Kellen?
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be super fun summer, especially here in Houston. Go Coogs in the tournament. We got Astros starting soon. Rockets are doing well. We didn't really talk about that, but really exciting here. The spring game, so many exciting things. I just think it's going to be super fun summer. Y'all be sure to tune in to all those fun events going on. It's just a great summer of sports, and then just a great summer here in Space City.
Awesome. Go Cougs. See y'all next summer.